Hello, podcast family. Welcome to another episode of Motherhood in Black and White. I'm Kaanji.
I'm Tara.
And this week's episode, we are going to talk about a few of our favorite things as it relates to the stages of motherhood. Taking it back a bit, right?
Yes.
So we're in season 3 now. And when we started this podcast, our boys were a little younger. It was at the very beginning of the pandemic. And now a couple of years later, we're looking back and it's like, wow, both of us have now crossed the halfway mark of having them in our houses.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
yes.
Right. So my son is 13 and he is completing the 7th grade. And your son, Gage
will be 12 this year and he is finishing elementary school.
So at this point, we have more years behind us in terms of having them at our houses, God willing.
God help us, please.
Please. Than we have in front of us. So we wanted to take a minute to kind of take a moment to reflect on what our motherhood journey has been so far and kind of like what's been our favorite part of this experience.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So motherhood, we have a lot of different phases. And again, there are ways that many of us come into this motherhood journey. Some of us feel as though we're moms the first time we see that positive pregnancy test. And some, it's the first time you get the call that you are going to be a foster parent or an adoptive parent. Or sometimes it's when you marry into a family. But whatever it is, I think we all have those years, those seasons where it's a little bit more special.
That's right.
Yeah. So we'll talk about it. And again, very beginning, there are some people that really, really like the newborn phase. Right.
Are there people that really? I'm sorry. Yes. Some people really like the newborn phase. That's
Yes.
right.
So the newborn phase, again, for a lot of us, it's a blur, you know, and then after the newborn phase, you have the infant phase.
Yes.
And also for many of us, it's still a blur.
Still a blur. Kind of the same. It bleeds together. And then there's toddling and toddler phase.
Okay. And so what would you characterize the toddler phase as? I love that we're doing this and neither of us are like child psychologists.
No. We're going to make up our own stages, guys. I think like 2 to 4.
Okay.
It's toddler.
Okay.
I mean, in my mind.
Sure.
Because then they start school.
Okay.
And that's a different thing.
So for this conversation, we'll use that as the 2 to 4.
Right.
And then after that, we have preschool.
Yes.
And then elementary school.
Yes.
I'll say middle school, adolescent.
And I would even break elementary, right? Like K through 2nd and then 3rd through 5th. I feel like that's the demarcation at Gage's school. And it felt like a change, like where he went from like small kid to big kid.
Okay. So you say demarcation. What does that mean?
Like there's a line between.
I know what demarcation means.
You know what I'm saying? Like the kindergartners to the 2nd graders have their own side of the school. They have their own schedule. And then the 3rd through the 5th grade. Now I can't stop laughing at that. And then the 3rd through the 5th graders kind of have their own place and they have their own schedule. It's kind of where they turn into the big kids at school.
Thank you for the fancy vocabulary lesson, Miss MBA.
It's what I bring to the table here. You're welcome.
I can't believe you literally defined.
I knew you knew what it meant. I was trying to get deeper into it. I knew you knew what it meant.
You're
a lawyer. You know what the words are.
We're going to proceed.
Okay.
Moving
on.
And then I guess middle school.
Yes.
Okay. And then high school.
Yes.
And then we'll say then young adults, they're off in college.
Yes.
Or adulthood. We weren't going to say college, just adulthood.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. So these are different phases. And I've loved having conversations with other mothers and friends of mine who have really loved certain parts of the journey and certain experiences more than others. And I would love to have this conversation with you to kind of find out like what parts so far of your journey have been the most memorable and the favorites and the ones that are the least favorites. And we'll talk a little bit about why.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
All right.
So do you want to talk about the good first, the bad, or the ugly?
Let's talk about our least favorite first.
So before we do,
Yes.
Podcast fam, as you're listening, think about what your least favorite stage or phase of the motherhood experience or parenting experience has been so far. And then we'll see if it kind of aligns with mine and Tara's. And if so, why?
That's right.
Yeah.
Now you go first this
Okay.
time.
For me,
Yes.
my least favorite was the newborn and the infant phase. I did not enjoy it at all.
What was your least favorite thing about it? What was so hard?
Well, there were a couple of things. I mean, the first part of it that was so hard was we had a really big change. So Roman was born in January 2009. At the time, I was working in New York. I was an attorney, and I was on maternity leave from a large law firm in Manhattan. And when Roman was 3 weeks old, and I never intended to be a stay-at-home mom. Like for me, I love working. I love being a career person. And that was my intention, was always to go back to work. But when Roman was 3 weeks old, I got a phone call and I was laid off from my job. So I think in addition to having a newborn, the entire dynamics in our household just changed. Like we went from being a 2-income household to being a 1-income household. I went from being someone who was going to be going back to work to like, oh, now what do I do? Right. Our financial situation took a hit at that moment. And so on top of trying to keep this little human alive, but for me, I didn't necessarily like it at all because I breastfed exclusively for the first year of her life, and I wasn't good at it. It was painful. I wasn't prepared for how painful it was going to be. Roman suffered from night terrors.
Oh my goodness.
He did not sleep through the night until he was almost 3 years old. And so when I say I don't remember that first year, I mean, I really don't remember it.
Wow.
It was just a challenge, and there were adjustments, with my husband, my partner. We got married 9 months and 1 day before the baby came.
Right.
And so we didn't really have that chance to get to know each other and make plans and kind of figure out how we were going to do the parenting thing because we just started parenting.
Right. Like we just jumped right in.
There was no plan. He's like, your doctor said you were infertile and it was going to take. She was wrong.
God had a plan.
He really did.
God's plan.
And that was it. Because he was like, how are you pregnant? I was like, well, we have this.
So when a woman and a man love each other.
That's exactly what we got into. And so like for me, I just wasn't a fan I'm not a fan of the newborn phase or experience. And it wasn't for me. And I will share that I think if it had been a different first year of Roman's life, if he had been a better sleeper, if I hadn't had the disruption in our financial situation, me not being employed, me not being in a good mental space because of that, maybe I would have then been more anxious to have additional children. But it didn't happen and we didn't. And so I only had to experience that phase one time.
Yeah. Interesting. Mine is the same. Now, I don't know why I feel compelled to say it, but I mean, obviously, there were snuggles and sweet moments, and he was cute, but that was the most dissociated time of my life where I had this baby. I wanted this baby. I signed up to have this baby, and he was adorable, and he wasn't a super hard baby, but, babies are tough. But I just like lost track of like who I was, I felt tied to this baby, but I forgot. And I just remember not feeling like myself for almost 3 years. And just really, even when I was enjoying moments and loving him, still just not feeling like myself, like for a very long time. And so while I didn't have as much disruption as you did or upheaval as you did, and it wasn't, all terrible, it was not my favorite time because I just did not feel connected to who I was at the time. It was a really weird place to be, like in my body, not in my body, in my mind, and not really understanding how to get back there.
So you said he was almost 3 when you started to regain that connection with yourself.
Yeah.
What happened there? How did that happen?
I mean, I think it was just a slow progression. I did feel better when he, after about a year, I did feel better, but I just didn't feel all the way back. But I think slowly what I did is he got older, so I was able to like go back to the gym and I went back to work pretty quickly, but I was always split between the two. And eventually I was like, oh, he's good. I can be at work when I'm at work. And so I think it was just a progression of like slowly getting back to the things that I like to do and things about myself and not feeling, totally split between what was going on with him and what was going on with me.
Yeah. Well, thank you for taking that time to share with us. I will tell you that I did not realize or remember how much I disliked the newborn infant stage until I would say January of 2022, just this year, when we got a puppy.
That'll do it.
Yo.
You're like, there is a reason. I don't like taking care of people that can't take care of themselves.
Let me just tell you, we adopted our puppy, Chewbacca Bartholomew, aka Chewy, and
aka the most adorable puppy in the world, for the record. Sorry, I don't live here though, so
exactly. But he was 8 weeks old when we got him, and we had a puppy a long time ago, back in 2006, and I forgot what it's like. And it literally was like a newborn. It's like getting him up every 90 minutes to go outside, the whining and the whimpering because he wasn't with his litter and his mother the first couple of nights.
Yeah.
And it was just the constant attention, having to make sure that this puppy who could eat anything, and like constant vigilance, right? And getting up every 90 minutes
yes.
during the night. I was like,
having to know where he is at all times.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, oh my gosh, pretty much, because I felt sleep deprived again, like I did when Roman was an infant. And I was like, yo.
Just a good reminder at this stage of the game, there is a reason.
Yes. And the puppy outgrew it. I mean, now he's sleeping through the night. We're good.
And they outgrow it a little faster than the babies do. So we can handle it.
We can handle it.
That's right.
But just like there wasn't a second Roman, there ain't going to be a second Chewy.
You're like, I've learned this lesson now a few times. Done.
We ain't doing this again. Like, if I try to ever think about getting another puppy, podcast family, you have permission to message me, reach out and say, Kaanji, you do not want to do this. Remember, you don't like it.
Remember, you don't like this. This is not your thing.
It doesn't matter how cute it is.
That's right.
It's not for you.
That's right.
Say, child, this is just not for you.
Just say no.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we both agree kind of like on our least favorite stage of motherhood. For me, that would have been 2009. And again, it aligns with a lot of stuff that was going on in the world.
Yeah.
You know, we had the Great Recession. 2009 was challenging, kind of like the last couple of years have been challenging in terms of what's going on globally. But there has been, during the 13 years that I've been a mom, there have been a couple of years that have really brought so much pleasure and happiness.
Yeah.
And those were all times before the pandemic when I was able to get out of my house.
Right.
But I started first last time.
Okay.
Tell me about your favorite year. If it's a calendar year or a phase in the motherhood experience, tell us a little bit about that.
This is my favorite. This right now, this preteen, getting out of elementary school, going into middle school. This is my favorite right now.
Really? Tell me more.
I don't know how to describe it. I've said it to a few people recently, like in the last few months, even though he is annoying me sometimes. I mean, it does happen, but I am just so into that kid right now. Like, I love having conversations with him, and, you know, we make each other laugh and crack each other up, and, you know, we like the same music, and we're into the same TV shows, and he's almost as big as me, which just kind of blows my mind. It's kind of like, I don't know, I'm just really into this phase. I'm really enjoying myself as a mom right now and loving this kid.
Do you enjoy it because it's more like he's a friend and less like you're a mom at this moment?
No, I'm still his mom. But I think it's because this is the most myself I've been as a mom. Like, I'm not holding as much back. I'm not constantly trying to correct and teach, and I'm just kind of myself, and we're just talking about things like we're two people. I mean, obviously, there is a friendship there clearly, but I am his mom, and he knows, we know that. But I think this is probably the most of myself I felt as a mom, and I get to just enjoy him, and he gets to just enjoy me. And, you know, we have dust ups from time to time. I mean, he definitely is on my list for a few things every now and again, but for the most part, we just really have a good time together. We just really enjoy each other.
What are the things that you like doing with him the most? You mentioned a few things. Like, what do you like doing the most with him right now?
I like just talking to him. Like, we have really funny conversations right now. He's moved up to the front seat in the car, which has been hilarious, you know? So he's just like this person sitting next to me in the front seat, and we like the same music. So we sing along and find new songs together. And he introduced me to Encanto, and it's like, you're going to love this, Mom. And we listen to that soundtrack, and we watch a lot of the same TV shows. And we do that as a family. Like, we're really into, you know, Marvel and Star Wars. So all those new shows that are coming out on Disney Plus, we sit down every week and watch those together. And then we watch the Easter egg videos and learn all about the history together.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of into that stuff. And, we'll go to the movies. I mean, we just do a lot of stuff together. We sit and eat together and just chit chat. I think really it's just the conversations right now. I'm just really loving getting known to my kid right now.
Oh,
he's got his own ideas, and he, and as you know, he looks just like me. So I'm having this weird experience.
He stole your whole
He
face.
did. I went to the dry cleaners the other day, and Jason usually picks up the dry cleaning, so they know him. And I walked in, and she was like, "What's the name?" And I said, "Campbell." And she looks at me and she goes, "Oh yeah, your son looks just like you." Like she knew who I was because she recognized me from Gage. So there's that. But he also he sounds like me sometimes. Like, it's just funny. He's got his own thing going over there, and it's really fun to get to know. He told me the other day, he said something to me, and I did something, and I didn't get him something at the store or something, and he's like, oh, okay, I see how it is. Like, I mean, I'm just having this experience with this guy. He's hilarious.
And it's like, oh, he's just like me.
He's just like me. It's like walking around with the mini me all the time. So, of course, I love him.
Of course you do. You're like, ooh, he's turning out to be just like me. I love it.
The coolest, obviously.
That's great. The one thing I will say that I think, we look and say, like, what could have been, would have been, should have been.
Yeah.
For me, Roman was in 5th grade when the pandemic started. Mm-hmm. So right where Gage is right now. It was the end of his 5th grade year. We went away for spring break and we came back and just never left the house for like 7 or 8 months. And so when he was supposed to be going through this like transition of leaving elementary school and starting middle school, he missed all of that.
Yeah.
And I missed experiencing that with him because I then went from just being, cool mom. Just kidding. I never was. It's like I'm just a cool mom. I'm not a regular mom. I'm a cool mom. But I went from that part of watching him transition from elementary school to then just being like the teacher, right? And the disciplinarian and the healthcare provider and just being inside the house with them. And so when he was able to then go to middle school, his middle school experience hasn't been quote unquote normal because it was abbreviated with COVID and lots of starts and stops with people getting diagnosed in his classroom or switching to online learning and, whatever that's going to look like. And so now as it looks as though we're coming out of this pandemic a little after 2 years, it's interesting to kind of like start to watch him start to now be who he's supposed to be.
Yes.
He now like comes home from school and is, Mom, I'm going out with my friends, and he's gone for several hours and he's really getting into lots of different activities and he's into drama and musicals and we share our love of musicals and he's doing kickboxing and tournaments. And so all of these wonderful things that he's doing that I think we paused for about a year and a half.
Yeah.
But again, kids are resilient. We hear it, we say it, we know it. Yeah. So it's just interesting to see that happen now. The fact that it's happening inside the body of a 13-year-old, not my favorite time.
Well, it's interesting. We'll see how I feel in a year, right? I feel like I'm in that sweet spot right before it gets weird. So I'm enjoying it while I'm here. So what is your favorite?
Okay, so now I'm thinking about well, is this now not my least favorite time?
Maybe it's worse than newborn. Let's think about that.
It's like the newborn, I could just put him in a room and close the door.
I think that the equalizer is that you don't have to change diapers. So I think it beats newborn just on that alone.
That's true. That's true. But you have to change sheets. And that's another story for another day.
Another story for another day.
And having a 13-year-old who's going through puberty and who's going through this need to assert independence, it's great that he's trying to figure himself out. But again, there's the moodiness and there's the angst and there's the uncomfortability in his own body. And, all of this is coming up. And, sometimes my husband and I are like, well, how come he doesn't want to talk to us?
Right.
I was like, I didn't want to talk to my mama when I was that age.
Right.
Yeah. It's like constantly, it's like, well, he just wants to talk to and spend time with his friends.
Of course.
And I understand it. I recognize it. But I'm also like, can we go back to what was my favorite time, which would have been, as you so put it, after the demarcation.
I'm never going to live that one down.
In elementary school, I would say it was the first part of elementary school.
Yeah, K through 2.
K through 2. Yeah. He was so sweet and kind and was just unintentionally funny and was growing and changing so rapidly.
Yeah.
And to your point, during that time, I was also really, really busy and active in my career. And in addition to my career, I was, working as a fitness instructor for the cycling studio. So I was kind of doing my own thing. He was kind of doing it alongside me. He would love coming to the gym with me. And he was like, back then, like my ride or die, right?
Yeah.
He would come to the cycling studio and would love to just sit on the bike and everyone would love him. He was like the old puppy.
Yes.
He was the first Chewbacca.
That's right.
He was my puppy back then. I could kind of take him everywhere. For me, it was good because I liked to see what he was starting to become.
Yeah.
And that's where I saw so much potential. And I saw that he was such a kind, generous soul. And I remember his kindergarten teacher, Miss Atkins, at the end of the kindergarten year, brought all of the kids up and was like, I'm going to give an adjective for your name, for your last name. And my son's last name starts with the letter S. And she said, when she brought him up, and she said, and in Roman, S, the S for you is not going to be your last name, but it's going to be for sensitive.
Oh.
And one of the little boys, who's one of his best friends, Jake, was like, ha ha, Roman sensitive. Tara.
Executive.
No. And Roman started crying and came running over to me. And he's like, Mommy. I said, yeah, buddy. He's like, what does sensitive mean?
Oh, poor kid.
I said, it means this right now. Just what you're doing.
That's exactly what's happening.
It's like, I was like, this is exactly what it means. But that's when I started starting to just see his personality develop and his value system start to kind of just be shown at the forefront. He really, in first grade, started coming home and he's like, Mommy, this teacher said I did something and I didn't. And she's wrong. And she blamed me for something another student did. And he just became this right fighter. And he was like, it's inequitable the way that certain teachers are treating boys versus the girl students. And he started seeing this and recognizing it. And I was like, yeah, this is my little justice warrior here. Yeah. So I loved kind of just watching that part of him develop and starting to kind of guide him a little bit. But who he is who he's always been.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, in K through 2 is when they lose all those teeth and they're so adorable. I mean, Gage was toothless for a year and a half. And those pictures are still some of my favorites.
They're our favorites because some of them are just not cute.
I mean, they're not, just to their mother, I guess. Every time I think about oh my God, remember when Gage didn't have any teeth? That's wild.
Yeah, it is. And it's so wild to look at how quickly it has gone by.
Yes.
And everyone says it. We moved here to the Dallas area 10 years ago this month and I say this, it's like a Gilligan Island reference. Remember how Gilligan's Island, that tour was supposed to be 3 hours?
Oh, yeah.
Our trip to Dallas, Texas was supposed to be 1 year. We came here because my husband got a quote unquote 1 year job contract. So I was like, oh, let's go on this little adventure to Texas and then go back to New York or wherever. And now 10 years later, we're still here.
I'm so grateful.
To be decided.
I know. You're always thinking about it.
I was like, there's still a couple boxes that I have not unpacked. Just in case. We need to leave because I'm not committed to staying here yet. Yeah. But I look and I was like, literally, we'll drive by restaurants we went to the first week we were here. And I could remember, toddler Roman having conversations about the queso and just little things. And I was like, how is it possible that this was 10 years ago? And then if I look forward 10 years, I'm like, in 10 years from now, God willing, he'll be early 20s and doing his thing out in the world, and I will have zero input in his life. I can offer him advice at that point, but I will have no input or direction.
I know. I think about it sometimes. I can't think about it too hard. I started getting oh my God, we don't have very much longer, 10 years is going to go by that fast. And then he's just going to be out doing his own thing in an even bigger way than he is now. It's crazy to me.
But I love the way, Tara, that you said and you shared that right now is your favorite part. It's your favorite time. And I hope that, as he starts middle school next year, then that's your favorite time. And that's what I hope and I wish for you.
Me too. Well, I'm not optimistic about it. I've heard about middle school and I know what's coming, but I hope that I hope that we get to keep a little bit of what we got going on right now because it's pretty special.
If you don't, you're not alone.
I know, and I can let it go. I can let go of the expectations. I can, but so that's why I'm like really digging into it right now because I know it's not forever.
You're gonna keep singing Encanto songs for the next 7 years. I love it. You're just gonna keep that memory alive.
I will for sure. Remember that time when Gage was awesome?
He will be awesome forever and ever. And podcast family, each of you is awesome. We love taking the time to just reflect on what makes us who we are, what makes our kids who they are. And I think we still are mindful of the fact that this podcast is about creating a community where not only Tara and I can share our stories, but we invite other mothers in to share their stories and their experiences as we realize that there is power in building community and keeping the community together. And sometimes in our motherhood journey, there's power and there's joy in recognizing and realizing, yeah, you're not alone. And as long as you're listening to this podcast, you will not be alone. And Tara, as long as I am here in Dallas, which is looking like it's going to be forever, you will not be alone because I always got your back, girl.
No matter where you go, you will not be alone. You know I got you.
That sounds stalkerish.
Hey, I am unashamed. I will stalk you all over this country. And podcast family, we love having you here with us. Make sure you're liking the episodes wherever you listen to them. Make sure you follow us so that you don't miss any upcoming. We've been having a lot of fun this season, just kind of reconnecting. We've had some busy lives and it's been fun just to sit down, Kaanji and I, and chat. But we've got some guests planned for you and some topics coming up that you're not going to want to miss. Thank you for joining us each week.
So with that being said, we're going to sign off this week for another episode of Motherhood in Black and White. Podcast family, you are simply amazing. Guard your health, mental, physical, and spiritual. And we will be back next week, same time, same place. Take good care.